We have Woodbury giving us the best of their service, but we should be getting underway now. Our guest of honor is already in the room. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm requesting that we take our seats. Karibuni sana.
Happiness, if I broke, now my business. I'm a shana, you go fly through. Fall again for the night.
So good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. May I please request that we take our seats? We're ready to get underway. We're going to have a very exciting morning. My name is Taji, your Master of Ceremony, Director of Ceremonies, and I wish to wish you all a very good morning, our esteemed guests, corporate leaders, and finance professionals. And this morning, we're truly honored to have you within the Dome. Welcome to the launch of the iTrust Finance Collective Investment Fund. It is a privilege to have all of you here with us today, this morning, as we embark on an exciting journey in the world of investment. At iTrust Finance, we believe in harnessing the power of collective investment to create opportunities for growth and prosperity. But those are my words. There's the MC. I will be welcoming onto the stage esteemed individuals who will fill us in a little bit more on the launch products. We'll also be welcoming to the stage the guest of honor a little bit later on, who will also assist us with the launch sequence here on stage. This morning, we're truly honored to have Mr. Nicodemus Mkama, the Capital Market and Security Authority CEO, as our guest of honor. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to Mr. Mkama. It's a proud moment indeed, the iTrust Board Chairman, Mr. Aunali Rajabati, and congratulations for reaching this amazing milestone in your very distinguished career, very distinguished company. I also wish to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Peter Nalitolela, the DSE CEO. Ladies and gentlemen, your hands, please. Mr. Gillard Terry, the TIC Executive Director, may I please acknowledge you as well. Shortly, I'll be welcoming Mr. Faiz Arab, the iTrust CEO, to open up the presentation together with his team. Most importantly, this morning, ladies and gentlemen, the National Bank of Commerce, the custodian bank for iTrust Finance. May I please request those seated at the high table, please could you rise? And let's put our hands together to the National Bank of Commerce. Thank you very much. Ms. Mopachu, I believe you'll be heading the team and coming up to speak a little bit later on. Well, on the program, ladies and gentlemen, we'll also have a panel discussion to take a deep dive into the issues. This will be led by Professor Mohamed Wasame, the iTrust Director and moderator of the panel. And so I wish to acknowledge the board of directors and our shareholders in the room, regulators, brokers, our esteemed panelists, the iTrust team. Please could you stand and please wave your hands, the iTrust team. Congratulations, we worked very hard to reach this moment. Here is the moment, let's capture it and let's make it as exciting as possible this morning. So the launch today, or this event, is not just simply a launch. It's an opportunity for collaboration and growth in the financial sector. We'll be giving you insights. We'll answer your questions in a very unique way. I don't want to give away. And we'll explore the potential of the iTrust Collective Investment Fund. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Let's make this a very memorable and impactful morning. It's my great pleasure to welcome the iTrust CEO, Mr. Faiz Arab. Welcome for the fund's introductions. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO, Mr. Faiz.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I would like to thank every one of you for making the time to come this morning on this auspicious day of iTrust and our launch. This launch, I'm going to get into details with the fund products, but before that, I'd like to thank our guest of honor, Mr. Mkama, Asante Sana. Along with him, we have our CEO of DSC, Mr. Peter. Asante Sana as well for being here today with us. Again, not forgetting our NBC Bank, the Custodian. We have fought a lot in this journey, but we have made it. Thank you, guys. Our partners, PwC and Vertex Law, Asante Sana for being here with us today, and distinguished guests. Thank you so much for coming this morning. So now, getting into details of the funds that we have. I have my team, iTrust Finance, who's going to take you through this for just 5 minutes. So please give me your ears and eyes 5 minutes. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Faiz. I'll take over from here. Hello and welcome. Today, I would like to introduce you to iTrust Finance Limited. iTrust Finance was incorporated in 2013 as a financial service provider. We are regulated by Bank of Tanzania and Capital Markets Authority. Under the Capital Markets Authority, we are licensed brokers, investment advisors, and fund managers. Today, we are excited to announce the launch of our 5 new unit trust schemes: iCash, iSave, iGrowth, iIncome, and Iman Fund. Now let's hear more about it from my team.
Let me introduce to you iCash Fund. iCash Fund is a highly liquid, low-risk money market fund. So what does iCash Fund invest in? I will tell you. So iCash Fund primarily invests in money market securities and fixed income securities. Money market securities include treasury bills and term deposits. Fixed income securities include corporate bonds, sukuks, treasury, listed and unlisted bonds approved by CMSA. So you would ask, why choose this fund? iCash is suitable for investors who wish to park their money for a very short period of time, making it suitable as it is liquid. Another reason is that it has a return that is higher than bank deposits, and another reason is that it invests in a diverse array of assets, making it have a low risk, and hence it's better as compared to relying on a single performance of an asset. The minimum investment is 100,000, minimum subsequent is only 10,000. There's no entry or exit fee, so come invest with iTrust, let your money work for you. Karibu.
Let me tell you more about iSafe Fund. iSafe Fund is a low-risk fixed income fund that aims to grow a client's wealth with consistently high returns. This fund provides you, an investor, with an investment opportunity to maximize your wealth by investing in a diversified portfolio of long-term fixed income securities. I'm sure you're wondering, who is iSafe base suited for? Let me tell you more about that. Investors who seek investment income with capital stability, investors who seek to invest in long-term fixed income securities with minimal capital, investors that have a low risk tolerance, investors who prefer a medium to a long-term investment horizon. Our minimum initial investment is 100,000. The minimum subsequent investment is 10,000. This fund has no entry fee but has a 1% exit fee, and any redemption you make will be processed within 3 working days. Come invest with us and jenga kesho yako leo.
Let me tell you about iGrowth Fund today. iGrowth is a balanced fund. It focuses on growing up individuals' wealth over a long period of time. iGrowth invests in fixed income securities as well as equities that are listed on the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange. It seeks long-term capital growth with a diversified portfolio and has a moderate risk. iGrowth is ideal for investors who seek to invest in equities but also would like a balanced portfolio. iGrowth is also ideal for the kind of investors that would like a long-term horizon for investment. iGrowth has a minimum initial contribution of just 100,000, and any subsequent contributions are only 10,000 shillings. iGrowth has an exit fee of 1%, and you can get your investments back in just 3 working days.
Now let's talk about iIncome Fund. iIncome Fund is a low-risk, fixed-income unit trust scheme that aims to grow your wealth steadily by investing in a diversified portfolio of fixed-income securities. The main objective of iIncome Fund is providing investors with a mix of capital balance while providing periodic distributions to these investors from the returns that are generated from the invested assets. The strategy is to actively manage the investments, adapting as needed in order to maximize the returns and ensuring that the liquidity needs of the fund are met within the required time. This fund best suits individuals, institutions, or any other organizations with needs for ensuring that they get a predetermined and a known cash flow every month while maintaining the stability of their capital. It also suits investors that wish to invest in fixed income securities such as government bonds, since this is where the fund primarily invests. And also retired people should consider this fund since it offers periodic distributions while maintaining capital stability. Features of the fund are as follows. The fund's minimum investment amount is only 10 million Tanzanian shillings, and the minimum balance for an investor to remain in this iIncome Fund is only 10 million Tanzanian shillings. The minimum subsequent contribution amount is 100,000 Tanzanian shillings only. This fund has no entry fee and has an exit fee of only 1%. Investors can subscribe to this fund by filling in the application form and depositing money to our bank accounts at MBC. Redemption is easy and it only takes T plus 3 days, which is 3 working days after filling in the application form and sending the request to our team. For redemption, simply submit a request to our team that will be processed within 3 working days. Karibu iTrust.
Let me tell you more about Iman Fund. This is a Sharia-compliant balance fund that aims to appreciate the client's capital over a long period of time by investing in Sharia-compliant securities. The primary objective of this fund is to seek long-term capital growth consistent with moderate investment risk through investments in a diversified portfolio of Sharia-compliant securities. Who is Iman Fund best suited for? Investors who seek to invest in Sharia-compliant instruments, investors who seek investment income with capital stability, investors that have low to medium risk tolerance, and investors who prefer a medium to long-term investment horizon. Minimum initial contribution is 100,000. Minimum subsequent contribution is 10,000. Exit fee 1% and redemption T plus 3 days. Bill your tomorrow today.
Thank you, Salim. Back to you, Faiz.
Thank you. Well, that was very impressive.
Thank you, Daji. All right,
Let's put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen, to Faiz and the team.
So this is my tech look now. So I'm going to take you through the onboarding process. It's very simple. It's very quick. So if you can have that, guys. Go to our website. We have the sign up option here. Once you sign up, this will take you to an onboarding page. It's very simple. You need to put your mobile number, your email address. You can set up a password, which is very simple to use. We all use it every day. Once you click that, you're going to get a confirmation on your email. Then, once the email has been confirmed and you've already confirmed that this is your email, you're going to go to a third page, which is where you got to go and sign in again, which is going to then take you to the dashboard. Well, you get the OTP as well. So there's a lot of more security features that we have. So you get an OTP, you put in the OTP, then you go to the dashboard. So on the dashboard, something very important here is that you need to complete your KYC process. This is where our regulators come in, and we need to conclude that by using our NIDA number. Once you put in your NIDA, and once that is verified, you are now going to go and get a confirmation. You need to put your bank details and your source of income into this. Once that is done, I think you are set to go. So here you have it. In 60 seconds, you are onboarded onto the iTrust Finance platform.
All right. That deserves a round of applause. Once again, it's easy, quick. But you know, it's the digital world. Things are moving pretty fast. What if I have questions? What do I do?
We got that covered as well.
Oh.
So we have done something unique here as well. We have Ask iTrust. If you go to our website, there will be a small pop-up below where you can put any kind of question related to iTrust and iTrust funds. It is a chatbot which will respond to you instantaneously, giving you more information about all the funds. If you require the prospectuses, the onboarding process, everything is here, guys. The easiest way to go and onboard yourself. I'd suggest you guys can start now. You can use your brochures. If you flip it over, there is a QR code behind that. You can scan it, and you can start your investment process today. Thank you, guys.
All right, that sounds good. Ladies and gentlemen, Fai is the CEO. Congratulations. Thank you very much for your presentations and also to your team. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the very first part of our presentation and our introduction this morning. I'm looking for Mr. Gilead Terry in the room. Is he? Oh, there you are, sir. Let's put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen. The Executive Director at the Tanzania Investment Center. Karibu sana. Honored to have you for your presentation this morning. And please stand by for a panel discussion on stage after Mr. Terry.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. So I have a few remarks this morning. One, I would like to really appreciate the invitation that the Tanzania Investment Center received from the iTrust team to be here on this very, very important occasion. On behalf of the Tanzania Investment Center, I would like to congratulate the team and the effort that you have all put together to make sure that this is a success today. But also much appreciation to fellow government leaders that have made the time to be here today, especially my colleague from CMSA. This is very, very encouraging when private sector does something good and solid like this, for all of us to show support and encouragement as much as we can. But also thank you for all the invited guests that you have left your beds quite early in the morning to be here. That signifies that you are a very good, solid investors enjoying the right place today. My number one message is that investment is quite essential for growth and sustainability of any society, any community, and any country, let alone the economy. So when investment is happening, it brings not only capital into the economy, but also helps create jobs. It supports technology transfer, depending on what kind of investment is happening in the country, but also helps stimulate economic growth. So whether investment is happening within the capital markets or within the real sectors, in totality is quite essential for the growth of the Tanzania's economy. My second point is that over the many years, maybe the last 30 years, Tanzania Investment Center has been really, really largely involved in supporting and facilitating investment in the real sector. So the typical investors that would come to us would be someone who is trying to put up a factory, to put up a hotel, or set up an agricultural estate. And we have not been a traditional partner when it comes to financial and sophisticated investment like the one that we're seeing here today. Now, us being here and this launch of such an important funds happening today is significant in two ways. One, I would like to signal to each and every one of you that the Tanzania Investment Center would like and is planning and is working to certainly move from the traditional space of physical investment or only the real sector, but also support and work with partners such as iTrust in this opening up of sophisticated investments as well. My second point is that we will work quite closely with CMSA, the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange, and partners like iTrust to make sure that we deepen not only the growth of the capital markets, but also the collaboration and relations between the investment that is being raised in capital markets to what actually happens in real sector. And on that note, I would like to inform each and every one of you that the government of Tanzania is reviewing its Investment Act. We have a new Investment Act of 2022, but there has been developments within the management of public institutions that is triggering the change of the Investment Act again. As you might all be aware, that the government made a decision last year to merge some of the government institutions for improving efficiency and service delivery. The Tanzania Investment Center, Export Processing Zones Authority, are going to be one of the first institutions that will be merged by the government of Tanzania. And on November the 8th, last week, the government tabled the first draft of the new Investment and Special Economic Zones Act. It is publicly available for each and every one of you to review and read. And the expectation is that when the next parliament is called, sometimes in February next year, the bill will be ready for the second and the third time, and probably before April, we will have a new institution. And again, the launch of this fund and that reform process have happened at a very, very opportune time. What that means is that you and I have an opportunity to make recommendations on what should be included, what kind of incentives can be put inside there that can help investors and investment funds such as iTrust do well today and in the future. So I really welcome you to look into that law and see how we can improve the investment environment in the long term by putting the right incentives in there. The last 2 points I would like to make is that, one, we are seeing quite an unprecedented growth in real investment. We have moved from around $2 billion worth of investment in 2020. We are on track to do $7 billion worth of investment this year. That number, it is our estimate, will reach around $30 billion worth of investment by 2030. Now, the way we calculate our investment figures is that when an investor comes, on average duration, it takes 3 years for their investment to materialize. So when we register $3 billion of investment this year, our expectation is that $1 billion of investment will happen in year 1, the second billion on year 2, and the third billion on year 3. What we do is that a year after, we work with the National Bureau of Statistics and the Bank of Tanzania to do an annual report which we call private capital flows, where we track what kind of investment has come in that particular year which we are reporting. This report has a 1-year lag so that it can actually track the real investment that has happened. So the last report that we did was a year ago, which we recorded around $4.5 billion worth of investment in a year, and the first year, the report showed us that $1.5 billion worth of investment already arrived into the country. So it's quite consistent, our theory as well as our research that we see on the ground. My point to give you all these figures is that as the real sector grows, the capital markets needs to grow, which means it is likely when we are seeing these growth rates within TIC, we will see the same growth rates within the capital markets as well, investment funds like iTrust that you're seeing here today. Now, this is the time to invest, not only as a business, but also as individuals. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Each and every one of you in this room should invest in iTrust. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gilead, for your guiding remarks. Very substantive. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to rearrange my stage a little bit by bringing up panel chairs. We're going to have a 30-minute panel with Professor Mohamed Wasame. May I please call you up onto the stage? Please join me. And we'll be calling up the panelists shortly. So on the program, ladies and gentlemen, after the panel discussion, and I hope it's going to be engaging, we'll call on the Custodian Bank remarks, and soon thereafter we'll welcome the guest of honor for his speech and the launch sequence. And as soon as the guest of honor is done, sir, please remain on stage. I will be welcoming the high table to join you, and we'll also have our vocal band on the other side, and we'll go through the sequence together. It's very simple, but also will be quite dramatic in the way that we present it. Thereafter, we'll request that the high table stays on the stage as we bring up chairs for the pictures. We'll call out the different groups, and then we'll welcome the board chair. And I wish to rectify how I'd called you initially, Mr. Aunali Rajabali. I'm not sure why I put the T in there. We'll welcome you for the thank you remarks. And so I apologize, and we should be progressing quite well from this moment onwards. And so, Professor, karibu-san. Oh, here you are.
I decided to be preemptive.
Please use this. Are you going to call your panel?
Yes. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Let me just say, first of all, thank you very much for attending the launch of iFunds. All this particular fund, we call the whole unit iFunds. So we've kept that branding. All the funds of iTrust are within a group we call the business line iFunds. So thank you very much for attending the iFunds launch today. I would like to welcome my panel. I have a panel of distinguished guests. I would like to welcome Patrick, Tim, Emmanuel, and I believe from NBC, I think it's our custodian. Please welcome to the table. Peter, please welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Always see on NBC, joining Professor Wasame.
Thank you very much. I want to keep this panel very informative to educate investors and to go beyond just iFunds, but also to just look at the industry of fund management, what happens in fund management, what happens between different actors in the fund management industry. Obviously, iTrust is a fund manager. iTrust makes the decisions to invest, to pick securities, to analyze securities, to value securities. It does the administration, the portfolio flows, but it cannot do all that by itself. So some of the other stakeholders involved are here. I would like to start off by introducing everybody from the farthest end. I'll start off with Emmanuel Kakwezi. Emmanuel Kakwezi is the legal partner for iFunds, is with the Vertex Law. I'll come back to Tim Staymore. Tim Staymore is a very seasoned investor, a portfolio manager, runs the Africa Lions Fund. Please follow him on Twitter and other social media channels. He is one of the best investors in the African continent in terms of running money, and he is also a director at iTrust. We have Tupo, who is with the National Bank of Commerce, who are the custodians for iFunds. And the custodian is a very important role. I'll give Tupo an opportunity to explain what custodians do. And then we have Mr. Peter Ntolela, who is the CEO of the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange, which is actually the premier financial institution in which we invest in. So this is the most important institution in terms of activities in securities trading, securities listings, and obviously investors. So every investor has to work with the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange. Please give a round of applause to Mr. Peter. And then I have Patrick. Patrick Yambi is audit partner at the PricewaterhouseCoopers in Tanzania. And of course, there is a role of audit in every investment vehicle in the country. And he will be explaining to us what actually auditors do and how do audit processes happen. So I think I'll start off by throwing a question to Emmanuel in the order that I introduced everybody, by saying, Emmanuel, maybe you can tell the audience the funds. They are called trusts, and trust is a legal term. When investors put in their money in the funds, they put the money in a trust. Can you maybe give them a flavor of what the trust means to investors? What does it mean to say you have a trust?
Thank you very much, Prof. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As I have been introduced, my name is Emmanuel Kakwez. I'm a panelist on the legal aspects of Unity Trust. Unity Trust in Tanzania is established under, I would say, 4 basic instruments. When you come to invest in the Unity Trust, you should be sure that it is a platform which is well regulated, and there are 4 basic instruments which you can look at. We have Capital Markets and Securities Authority Act of 1994. We have Capital Markets and Securities Collective Investment Scheme of 1997, which provides, among others, the modality of establishment of Unity Trust, and again, the management and the procedures as to how the Unity Trust should be run or managed. And again, on establishment of every Unity Trust, there is a deed of trust, which provides, among others, the regulations. It's like I would call it, it's like a constitution among the members who are unity holders, the manager, and the trustee. The document, the trust deed normally provides the best way to manage the specific trust fund. And again, we have another document which is also like a summary of what is provided under regulations and provided also under the trust deed. This is offering document. The offering document is provided under Schedule 2 of the regulations, but every Unity Trust comes up with its specific way of running the business. Now, if you want to invest in the Unity Trust, and that's why we are here, we are inviting you to invest in a platform which in particular is well regulated. When you see there is any institution well regulated by the government with rules and regulations, it signifies that there is confidence from the public, there is confidence from the government, as well as there is a formality and legality in what you are investing in. Now, without taking much of the time, I would like to say that there are some specific characteristics which I would like probably every one of you to know. I'm not saying that I'm arranging these characteristics in terms of importance, but it was just a random picking of some important elements in the regulations. And one of them, when you come to invest in trusts, you should know that trust in the first place is a contract between the manager and custodian, also unit holders. That means what? Once you invest your money, the manager and the custodian both together have a fiduciary relationship with you as an investor. Fiduciary relationship is a situation in law where a person is entrusted to make sure that he works for your benefit. This is different from normal business associations, which we have seen that, for instance, if I go and directly invest in a company, it is not necessary that those who are running a company feel that there is direct fiduciary relationship. But under the unity trust, the managers have fiduciary relationship. They have a duty to make sure that at the end of the day, whatever they do is to the interest of the investor. That's one of the very important characteristics of the unity fund. And again, we have another important aspect, which is called contractual and trust relationship. Investing in the unity trust means you are entering into contracts. As a unit holder, when you read the trust deed, and when you read also the offering document, you will get to understand that you are entrusting your fund for gain. Now, when you entrust your funds to the manager, it means the manager has this duty to make sure that at the end of the day, you have a gain at the end of the journey. So these are just a few of the important elements which you have to look at, and you have to understand that these, in a way, play a role of protecting unit holders. And again, I would like to add one important element, which is redemption aspect. The redemption aspect under unity trust is a special one. This is a statutory provided redemption aspect. When you invest in a company and you want to exit, there is no automatic exit. You have to have a person who is ready to buy your shares, unless your shares are preferential redeemable shares. But for unity trust, the situation is different. When you invest and you'd like to exit, you have a direct exit, which is statutory provided redemption, that there is a buyback provision which allows the fund itself to buy back your fund, and you can exit and use your money for any pressing issue which you might be facing that time. Probably I should not take much of the time. I leave this to you, Professor, to welcome other panelists.
Thank you very much. I think everybody here has got now a diploma in the legal status of unit trusts. After listening to Emmanuel, I'm sure you have seen what are the really driving characteristics that make unit trusts so different. But let me come to Tim now. Tim, being a fund manager, comes at the problem from the other side. He's managing money for investors' interest. Maybe, Tim, you can tell us something about what does a fund manager do, and how does a fund manager add value to the investors who invest in a fund?
Thank you very much, Prof, and welcome to all of the stakeholders and honored guests here this morning. Yes, I am a fund manager. I have been managing a sort of boutique equities investment fund that invests all over Africa called African Lions Fund, and it's been a very rewarding journey over the past just over 4 years that I have been running that. I'm a little bit different from, I guess, most of the funds that will be managed by iTrust, in that there's a heavy emphasis on bonds and fixed income investments here in Tanzania, and by extension at iTrust. I'm an equities guy. I only buy stocks. That's what I've been doing around the world for the last 26, 27 years. And I'm not particularly familiar with bond markets and so on. I leave that to the other experts. But as far as managing a fund and being a fund manager, first and foremost, what I would stress is our obligation is to work for our clients. As Emmanuel said, you know, the legal term is that you have a fiduciary duty to your clients. But everything that I do, I put my client first. I must think, this is someone's money. This is someone saving for their retirement or to support their family, educate their family. And you want the person who's looking after that money for you to do it in a way that you would be doing yourself if you were in their shoes with the relevant expertise. So that's the most important thing, and I can't stress that enough. I mean, unfortunately, the funds management industry is not full of saints, and there are villains around. I've been in some fights with people on the other side of the fence over the years in my home country in Australia, but that's the key. It's what would you do if your role was reversed with the client? Always ask yourself, is it the right action to take? So things like avoiding risk, investing in responsible quantities in different investments, diversifying adequately that you can benefit from the diversification. They have built a very strong internal administration team. All of the daily accounting and valuations of the funds is all done in-house, which is quite an undertaking. For a small boutique fund like mine, I outsource that function. But when I outsource functions, I am also answerable to my clients that I make the right decision, that I pick the right service provider. So that's another angle that's very important when you're putting together a business as iTrust has done. I'll leave it at that, and you can circle back to me with other questions later, Mohammed.
Thank you, Tim. I think that was a very important point on the fiduciary duty, and we are very, very thankful that in Tanzania we have a very strong regulator in terms of fund administration and operations of funds. So Tupo, I think this comes now naturally to you, being the custodian of a fund. And what does that mean for a unit holder? You know, what does a custodian do? Because we don't only call you custodian, we call you trustee also. So these are very critical terminologies, the trustee and custodian of funds, funds which being collected from unit holders, and it sits with the custodian trustee. So what does a custodian trustee do that provides value to the unit holders?
Thank you very much, Professor. I think the previous two speakers spoke very highly and directly of what kind of a relationship that a fund manager has together with the custodian and the unit holders. What a custodian does is actually in the middle between the fund manager and the investments that are being taken care of. So typically when you buy a unit from iTrust here, the fund manager will receive that instruction, and in order to make sure that instruction is processed to the requirement, a custodian comes in. We manage your assets together with the unit fund. We take care of all the transactions that you actually do, but we also come in at the point of redemption. We ensure that whatever amount that is required to be given to you as the unit holder is be given to you accordingly. One of the things that we should rely on is a custodian is required to be a financial institution that has muscle financially but also technologically to ensure that each and every aspect of investment that our fund managers does is catered for. We have the prospectus, information memorandums that speak of what each and every fund is going to invest in. A custodian caters for that, ensures that the fund manager follows those specific guidelines that have been identified in the information memorandums. But also, we have an agreement with the fund manager, iTrust. And we also enter into an agreement directly with the unit holders, the investors, which protects the unit holders and investors. I'll give an example, which I'm pretty sure iTrust has already catered for that. There won't be any of that. But if iTrust decides to say, in my Iman fund, I want to buy holdings or shares that are not Sharia compliant for an investor that has come in with maybe 1 million. A custodian can say, no, this does not cater to what the agreement is. This does not follow what the guidelines are. So we as a custodian tend to work together with the fund managers to protect the interests of the unit holders as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think, please, round of applause. I think that's a very important role. I think the role usually is not appreciated because usually customers face the manager. But in reality, the custodian is also the other part of that triangle of unit holders, manager, and then of course the custodian. The custodian does a critical role of receiving all the funds, receiving all the securities, ensuring that the assets of the investors in the units are safe. So that is a very critical, and that is why custodians are also regulated entities licensed separately and independently by the Capital Markets and Securities Authority. Coming to Peter, Peter is the CEO of Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange. As unit trusts, iFunds will invest in assets listed on the exchange. Most of the assets, almost probably 97% are going to be listed securities, be they shares, be they bonds. So I would like to ask Peter how the market accommodates institutionalization, because fund managers are institutions, they're bringing in flows, and how the market is actually encouraging the process of institutional investments, liquidity, and price discovery in the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange.
Okay, thank you, Prof. So from the perspective of the exchange, I rightfully said that a big chunk of the assets will be securities listed on the exchange. So this would be equities from listed companies, corporate bonds that are listed, as well as government bonds. And from the perspective of exchange, the bloodline of the exchange is trading volumes and turnover. And of course, you want to have a diverse pool of individual retail investors. But the challenge that you have, if you just have retail investors only, is that number one, we don't always all have the same technical know-how in terms of when to enter, when to exit, etc., monitoring trends and making investment decisions. Number two, time can also be a challenge because probably the investor is employed, so they have a 9-to-5 job. By the time they want to make a decision, maybe it's too late by the time they are free to execute on that decision. But number three is also in terms of the financial muscle. Let's say I'm an individual investor, I can put money into one of the funds under iFunds, 100,000. If I only have 100,000, I want to diversify my holdings, then there's only so much that I can buy of a mix of different securities. But by pulling funds together through a collective investment scheme, you leverage on the funds and all the monies that have been put together from other investors and put under one institution, which is the fund manager. And now the fund manager, being an institutional investor, can number one, make decisions quickly because this is their bread and butter, it's their job to know what to do, when to do it, etc. So you get the benefit of the technical know-how, the experts that iTrust has. Number two, you get the financial muscle that the fund has to be able to make the decisions. Number three, in the case of, for example, where you can negotiate pricing, you can have that power to negotiate. And through this activity, you get the turnover that you need for the exchange, you get the volumes created, etc. At the moment, on the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange, we do not have any exchange-traded funds. It is our hope that soon we will have exchange-traded funds. But before we get there, funds such as the ones that we are launching today is an important arm of bringing in all different individual and institutional investors to come through iTrust and end up investing on the exchange and creating that liquidity, price discovery, and turnover that we need.
Thank you very much. I think that's the most important institution in terms of trading, investing in the country, the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange. And I think we're extremely gratified on the growth, on the progress in terms of improving the trading rules, the trading structure, and deepening our market. I think Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange is playing a critical role in ensuring that investors get an opportunity in our capital markets. So thank you very much, Peter. I'll come to Patrick. Patrick, I think the question I have for you is the funds, just like companies, have a requirement to be audited. And maybe I just wanted you to give us a flavor to the unit holders when they get an audit report, when an audit is done. What does an auditor look for in a unit trust? Is it similar to a company? Is it different in some ways? And how do the auditors approach generally the unit trusts in terms of that requirement of audit?
Thank you, Professor. And may I start first by recognizing everyone here who's come to support iTrust in the launch of these funds. I think all of you are very important individually and with the institutions that you represent, because without you, we are not able to create the wealth that then will invest in these funds. So thank you very, very much. Now, I'm here in my capacity today as an auditor, even though I wear different hats from time to time. But what is it that the auditor will do for the fund? I think when I look here, I see the fund manager, the custodian, who perhaps I'll put together as one group, together with Wasame and the rest. And then we have here DSC, which is educating us a bit about the markets, and in the process also encouraging us to invest. And then we have Emmanuel there, who's spoken about regulations, and perhaps is a little bit on my side. So what do I do as an auditor, as I represent the audit firm? A lot of promises have been made here around what the fund manager does, what the custodian does, and they have asserted that they are doing everything they do in the interest of the unit holder. Now that's where I come in. Do they really do things in the interest of the unit holder? And this takes different forms. From time to time, they will come and tell you about the performance of the fund. This year, the fund has grown X%. In the brochures that I've seen there, I've seen numbers like 11% or something. Now the question is it really 11%? Is it 5%? Is it 20%? Whatever that promise they made you, they have a responsibility to come back to you and tell you the truth, what the fund performance is. When they say the total assets of the fund have now reached a value 100 billion hypothetically, is it really 100 billion, or is it 10 billion, or is it 200 billion? So that you get some comfort. Now, to do all that, obviously, there is lots of things happening in the background. There is compliance with regulations from the various regulators. Are they really complying with those regulations? They have systems. I think right at the beginning, the CEO gave us a very good presentation, including how you just go to the website, either through your gadget, in your pocket, or through your laptops, wherever, technology. So it's a good thing that we are deploying technology here, because it's the way forward. But does that technology really work? Is that technology really safe? Are your investments safe, or is it that somebody can hack the systems and redirect investments in favor of other people or themselves? That's part of our mandate. And not just external people hacking. The people who are entrusted with managing your funds, with holding your funds, are they really also doing their work faithfully, that they are also not moving your investments from one account to another? So it's quite broad, but think of it as the numbers that they come to report to you, are they true? And the supporting infrastructure that enables them to manage those investments, to put those investments in safe custody, is that supporting infrastructure safe and sound? That's the value we bring to you. And the auditor is in a very unique position because they've got to be independent, they've got to be objective, whilst the paycheck is actually signed by iTrust. The auditor is purely there for you as the unit holder. Of course, we have to work with management to provide recommendations on where improvements are necessary. But the primary objective is to make sure what is reported to you is true. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Please, a round of applause. I have to say, Patrick really, when he says it's an orange, it's an orange. It's not a tangerine. He does not mix it up. He told you exactly what auditors do, what is the purpose of audit. Audits are statutorily required. We do not do it because we just like to have an audit. It is a requirement of the law, it's a requirement of the regulations. And the auditor, even though they work closely with the management, have the critical task of reporting to the unit holders. And I think that has been explained very, very well by Patrick. I just going to a little bit speak about the fund manager, because that is what is missing here in the panel, the fund manager. What does the fund manager do? The fund manager basically job is not only to do the administration of the funds in terms of onboarding, keeping the records of the unit holders, ensuring their allotted units, but also to manage the funds. The returns is the most important thing investors invested for. Why did you invest in a unit trust? You invested to get a return. Now, this is the job of the manager to be competitive in looking at the market, evaluating the opportunities available, picking the right set of securities, getting the right set of portfolio to manage and maximize returns and to minimize risks. That is actually the real role of a fund manager. The fund manager's job is to show performance, to give you, the unit holder, the highest rate of return possible with the risk that's being taken within the constraint of the trust deed. Because the manager cannot just invest in anything. The manager has to invest according to the description of the allowable investments in the trust deed and in the prospectus. Please read the prospectus very carefully, evaluate it with your financial advisors, make sure you pick the right product. Those funds which were introduced by the CEO, there were 5 of them. They have different characteristics. Please pick the ones that are suitable for you. Look at your risk, look at your horizon, look at the purpose you are investing for, and that is what fund managers explain to the unit holders. We are going to continuously engage. We have a call center at iTrust. You can call in, you can go to our website, you can go to all the other technology that we are putting out and rolling out today to ask and to get more information. Please also feel free to come and examine, get a copy of the prospectus. You can examine the trust deed. You can actually talk to our team, and it's very important for investors, for iTrust particularly. We want people to be educated. We do not want investors to just invest. We're not here to give you an opaque investment, dark investment, just telling you to trust us. No, we want you to be educated, to be knowledgeable, to understand what is being invested in, to understand where your money is, to make sound financial decisions. We want to expand. And this is a commitment we have at iTrust to expand personal finance education in Tanzania. We will support all initiatives of the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange, of the capital markets and security authorities, of our fellow licensed dealing members that expand education in the country. We will work with all other unit trusts to make sure that as many Tanzanians as possible become financially literate, are able to manage their money, are able to get the best possible returns, and come into our financial institutions. We're not only talking about fund management and brokerage and equities and bonds, we are also talking about our banking system. We want Tanzanians to be included and to be empowered in this financial system. So that is a role we would like to play. That is a vision we have. And I think there's a fund manager, that's what we do. Maybe I would like to just throw 2 extra questions before I close the panel. One is to Peter. Maybe Peter, you can just give us a flavor of the innovations, the exciting new things that Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange is bringing about, any changes in trading rules, what is the direction? What is the 2025 and beyond look like for Tanzanian capital markets from the DSC perspective? What is coming?
Okay, thank you for that question. So one of the things that we really leveraging on right now in our bid to increase activities on the market is to provide more accessibility to investors, particularly retail investors. And we've had our mobile trading platform for a little over 4 years now, but recently we've done a lot of enhancements on it. We've revamped the app. You can download it from Play Store, App Store. And some of the new features that we've added recently, for example, is previously if you put an order and it expired because it didn't get matched, you'd actually have to go through your broker to ask to post, but now you can post directly. Number 2, you can actually post your order 24/7. So previously we only used to be able to post during market operations hours, but now you can post. It will only be processed when the market opens, but you can post 24/7. Number 3, we've also added a feature whereby once you place an order, you can pay using your card, and it's covered by all global known cards, Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Union Pay, etc. You can open a minor account as well, etc. And as a next step, we are looking to integrate with various financial service providers, be it banks, mobile money operators, brokers themselves. I know there's quite a few brokers that are working on some initiatives, including iTrust, to establish their own platforms. We're looking to integrate with them. So for example, we have an iTrust platform. When it's ready, you can go there directly, access your account information, etc., get market updates, but also on the back end linkage to the DSC where you can invest directly. And last but not least, we are working on a number of initiatives to activate trading, have a relook at our rules, whether they work or not. And we thank the regulator. They're very collaborative, and they're giving us all the guidance, us and the rest of the market players. We're working on looking at launching new products as well. A number of licensed dealing members who are here have come up with proposals that we are reviewing as an exchange that will take to the regulator to launch some new products that will provide investors an opportunity on the back end to access the risk on an asset. So for example, instead of investing directly into counter XYZ, I can maybe invest in something else that in return gives me all the benefits of that particular account. So there's a lot that we're working on, and whenever we have something new, we'll work with iTrust, we'll work with other members of the exchange, we'll work with the CMSA to bring this education to the market and have more investors sign up.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That means we have an exciting 2025 coming up at the Tanzanian capital markets and the Islam Stock Exchange. I think my last question will be to Tim. Tim, I wanted to ask you, when an investor, take the perspective of an investor, when an investor looks at a fund manager, what do they consider should be the criteria for success? What should a fund manager be able to do to make sure that unit holders consider that investment manager a success?
It's working? Yeah. I mean, as a new fund manager, the one thing you haven't got normally is a track record. And people are always looking for track records. So I think it's important for people to actually realize that the people behind iTrust do have a track record, just in a different capacity. In fact, these funds have been running as private funds, I think, for almost a year now. Mr. Rajabali has a very long and distinguished history of investing in Tanzanian capital markets. So track record is really important, as well as, of course, honesty and integrity and the confidence that you can trust this person to really do the best that they can with your money. So those are really, it's very simple, you know, competent and honest, as Warren Buffett says. That's what you want in any situation.
I think that defines iTrust, competent and honest. So thank you very much. Let me take this opportunity to again thank my panel. I will go in the reverse order of introduction to thank everybody. Patrick, thank you very much. Peter, thank you. Tupo, thank you very much. Tim, Emmanuel, please give the panel a very warm round of applause. Thank you very much. I think with that, we hand over to the MC. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together to the moderator for keeping it energetic. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope we take a bit of time at the very end of the event to continue to network. You've seen the experts. Later, we'll call the iTrust team up on stage. You'll see them during the photo session. You will get a chance to interact with them, ask further questions, and get clarifications. And I believe it'll be a very productive morning for you. And so, just before the guest of honor speech, we're very honored to welcome our Custodian Bank remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Juliana Mwapachu on behalf of the National Bank of Commerce, NBC.
Thank you very much, Tad. You put down the mic for me, realizing I'm not that tall. Thank you. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you for all the leaders who made the time to come today. It's basically a testament of your commitment to really growing the financial market sector, the financial sector actually. It is a pleasure to stand before you today on behalf of the Managing Director of National Bank of Commerce, Mr. Theobald Sabi, who unfortunately could not make it here today. Although, maybe not so unfortunate, because it allows me to assume the position as the Managing Director of the third largest bank in Tanzania for at least a few hours today. I think on behalf of the management of NBC Bank, I would really like to congratulate iTrust for this milestone. The launch of these funds is in line with our government strategy to drive financial inclusion in Tanzania, which is driven by our very own President, Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan, with support from our regulators who are here today, including CMSA, DSE, BOT. We thank you for your commitment. As NBC, it is truly an honor for us to serve as the custodian bank for the iFund. We are committed to safeguarding the assets entrusted to us and ensuring the highest level of transparency and service. I believe that these funds offer more opportunities for Tanzanians and strengthening our position as a growing economy. So let's go out and grab it. We look forward to continuing this strong partnership, and thank you once again for your trust and support. So thank you, iTrust. We appreciate the support. Have a lovely day. Enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your hands to Juliana once again. Savoring the moment, and thank you very much for speaking on behalf of the Custodian Bank. And your words of encouragement embolden us. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've been waiting for, to call upon the guest of honor for his remarks. And please, put your hands together as we welcome Mr. Nicodemus Mkama to the stage. You're going. All right, thank you. We do have sound. Good to see you. Your hands, ladies and gentlemen, once again.
Good morning, everybody. Today is an important day in the development and growth of capital markets, not only in Tanzania, but in EAC and SADC region. So we need passion and energy. Good morning, everybody. Wow. I can see the passion, but I'm not seeing the energy. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, now that's good passion and good energy. And I'm quite happy and quite excited. And let me take this opportunity to thank the management and board of iTrust Finance Limited for inviting me to grace this important event today. I understand that I'm addressing not only people who are here, and given the importance that this event is putting a significant landmark in the development and growth of capital markets within the SADC and EAC region, I think it's a good idea that I address my speech in Swahili so that the significant portion of the population also gets the benefit of understanding this significant event. Kwa hiyo nitaongea speech yangu kwa Kiswahili ili kuhakikisha kwamba ninaufikisha ule ujumbe ambao nilitaka sisi kama sekta ya masoko ya mitaji tuweze kuufikisha kwa umma. Ndugu Aunal Lajabal, mwenyekiti wa bodi ya iTrust, ndugu Peter Nalitolela, afisa mtendaji mkuu wa soko la hisa la Dar es Salaam, Profesa Mohamed Wasame, mkurugenzi wa board ya iTrust Finance Limited, ndugu Faiza Lab ambaye ni afisa mtendaji mkuu wa iTrust Finance Limited, lakini vile vile ninatambua uwepo wa mkurugenzi mtendaji wa benki ya CRDB ndugu yangu Abdul Majid Nsekela. Ninatambua uwepo wa mwakilishi kutoka Vertex Law Chambers ndugu Emmanuel Kakwezi, mwakilishi kutoka PricewaterhouseCoopers ndugu yangu Patrick, lakini vile vile mwakilishi kutoka benki ya NBC ambayo ni Custodian Bank, yani watunza dhamana katika mfuko wa uwekezaji wa iTrust. Vile vile ninatambua uwepo wa wafanyakazi wa mamlaka ya masoko ya mitaji na dhamana, yani CMSA, wawakilishi wa vyombo vya habari, wageni waalika, mabibi na mabwana. Na wasalimu kwa jina la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Jamani, nimesema leo ni siku muhimu sana. We need energy and passion. Na kwa sababu tunasalimiana kwa lugha yetu ya taifa, ninaomba tuonyeshe hiyo energy and passion. Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Asanteni sana. Awali ya yote namshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa kutujalia afya njema na kutuwezesha kujumuika katika hafla hii ya uzinduzi wa mpango wa uwekezaji wa pamoja wa kampuni ya iTrust Finance ambao unajumuisha mifuko mitano. Kwa kweli leo ni siku muhimu sana katika maendeleo na ustawi wa sekta ya fedha, hususan masoko ya mitaji hapa Tanzania, kwani kwa mara ya kwanza tunaandika historia. Na wakati nimeingia hapa nilifanya stock taking, nikajaribu kuongea na regulators wenzangu kwenye Afrika Mashariki, lakini vile vile kwenye SADC region. Nikawauliza, je, kuna soko lolote la mitaji katika hizi region mbili zimewahi kuzindua mifuko ya uwekezaji mitano kwa pamoja? Jibu nililopata ni kwamba hakuna. Kwa hiyo tuna kila sababu ya kujipongeza kwa mafanikio haya makubwa sana. Kwa mantiki hii ninachukua fursa hii kipekee kwa kuwapongeza wataalamu wote, lakini vile vile kipekee bodi ya wakurugenzi ikiongozwa na ndugu Anwar Jabal, lakini vile vile afisa mtendaji mkuu wa iTrust kwa kuweza kuchukua hii initiative ya kuhakikisha kwamba tunakuwa na mifuko hii ambayo imekwenda kuandika historia na kuiweka Tanzania kuendelea katika kuwa ramani ya ulimwengu ya masoko ya mitaji yanayotoa bidhaa mpya na bunifu ulimwenguni, na hivyo kuweza kuvutia wawekezaji wa ndani na wa kimataifa. Kwa hiyo tuna kila sababu ya kujipongeza. Hongereni sana na tupige makofi makubwa sana. Ndugu wageni waalikwa, masoko ya mitaji ni sehemu ya mfumo wa sekta ya fedha inayowezesha upatikanaji wa fedha za muda mrefu, yaani zaidi ya mwaka mmoja, kwa ajili ya kugharamia shughuli za maendeleo. Na fedha hizi zinaweza kupatikana kwa njia mbalimbali, kwa kuuza hisa za kampuni, yani shares, lakini unaweza ukapata pesa kwa kuuza hatifungani za kampuni. Vile vile unaweza ukauza hatifungani za serikali, lakini unaweza kuuza vipande katika mifuko ya uwekezaji wa pamoja. Kwa hiyo leo hii tunachokishuhudia ni uzinduzi wa uuzaji wa vipande katika mifuko ya uwekezaji wa pamoja. Na mamlaka ya masoko ya mitaji na dhamana CMSA ndio ina jukumu la kisheria kuendeleza na kusimamia masoko ya mitaji hapa nchini, ikiwa ni pamoja na kuhakikisha kwamba shughuli katika masoko ya mitaji zinafanyika kwa kufuata sheria, taratibu na miongozo ili kuweza kuleta uwazi na haki kwa washiriki wote. Ndugu wageni waalikwa, mnamo tarehe 11 Oktoba, mamlaka ya masoko ya mitaji na dhamana iliidhinisha nyaraka za matarajio, yani offering documents, na mikataba ya uendeshaji wa mifuko mitano ya uwekezaji wa pamoja ya kampuni ya iTrust ambayo Profesa Wasame ameweza kuielezea. Na mifuko hii imeidhinishwa na mamlaka baada ya kukidhi matakwa ya sheria ya masoko ya mitaji na dhamana sura ya 79 ya sheria za Tanzania iliyopitishwa na bunge letu tukufu la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania, lakini vile vile imeweza kukidhi miongozo ya utoaji wa vipande vya uwekezaji wa pamoja, yani Collective Investment Schemes Regulation. Hivyo napenda kufahamisha umma kuwa mifuko hii imekidhi matakwa ya sheria, kanuni na miongozo ya mifuko ya uwekezaji wa pamoja, na kama nilivyosema, iTrust Finance Limited inakuwa kampuni ya kwanza sio tu Tanzania, lakini katika ukanda wa Afrika Mashariki na SADC kuzindua mifuko mitano ya uwekezaji kwa wakati mmoja. Hongereni sana. Kama ambavyo tumeona, mifuko hii inaendeshwa na kampuni ya iTrust Finance Limited ambayo ina jukumu la kuendesha na kusimamia mifuko, yani fund manager. Na ninapenda kuthibitishia umma wa Tanzania kwamba ili uweze kuwa fund manager wa hii mifuko unapaswa kuwa na leseni iliyotolewa na mamlaka ya masoko ya mitaji na dhamana. Aidha, panatakiwa kuwepo na mtunza dhamana wa mfuko, yani Custodian Bank, na kazi hii itafanyika na benki ya NBC, na taasisi hizi zote pamoja na zile leseni ambazo wamepata kutoka Benki Kuu ya Tanzania, lakini vile vile wanapaswa kuwa na leseni maalum kutoka mamlaka ya masoko ya mitaji na dhamana. Kwa hiyo napenda kuthibitishia umma wa Tanzania na umma wa kimataifa kwamba iTrust Finance Limited wanayo leseni kutoka mamlaka ya masoko ya mitaji na dhamana, lakini vile vile benki ya NBC wanayo leseni kutoka mamlaka ya masoko ya mitaji na dhamana inayowawezesha kufanya majukumu haya kisheria. Lengo kuu la mifuko hii ni kuwawekeza wawekezaji wa aina tofauti, ikiwa ni pamoja na wawekezaji wadogo, wakati na wakubwa, kuunganisha nguvu zao na kuwekeza kwa pamoja ili kunufaika na fursa zinazopatikana katika sekta ya fedha, hususan masoko ya mitaji. Aidha, malengo mahususi ni kuwezesha Watanzania wa kada na rika mbalimbali, ikiwa ni pamoja na vijana, wanawake, makundi maalum, taasisi na mifuko ya hifadhi ya jamii kunufaika na uwekezaji unaosimamiwa na wataalam waliopewa leseni ya kutoa huduma katika masoko ya mitaji. Lakini vile vile inatoa fursa ya kujenga utamaduni wa kuweka akiba na kuwekeza na kuwawezesha wananchi kushiriki katika shughuli za uchumi, na hivyo kwa kufanya hivyo kuongeza vipato vyao. Kuanzishwa kwa mifuko hii ni sehemu ya utekelezaji vile vile wa mikakati ya serikali ya awamu ya 6 chini ya uongozi madhubuti wa Mheshimiwa Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania, ya kuongeza wigo wa upatikanaji wa huduma za fedha kwa wananchi wengi zaidi mjini pamoja na vijijini, na kuwawezesha wananchi hao kuinua vipato vyao kiuchumi. Vile vile utekelezaji wa azima hii umeainishwa katika mpango wa 3 wa taifa wa huduma jumuishi za kifedha ambao unajulikana kama the Third National Financial Inclusion Framework, ambao tumeanza kutekeleza mwaka wa fedha 2023 na tunatarajia kwamba utakwenda mpaka mwaka wa fedha 2028, na lengo la mkakati huu ni kuongeza ushiriki wa wananchi kwenye sekta rasmi ya fedha, ikiwa ni pamoja na masoko ya mitaji. Na kama ambavyo tumeona mifuko hii ambayo imetajwa yote mitano kwa pamoja leo hii ndio tunaizindua, na tunatarajia katika kipindi hiki cha mwezi mmoja waweze kupata shilingi za Kitanzania bilioni 37 na zimeainishwa katika waraka wa matarajio wa mifuko hii. Uwekezaji katika mifuko hii una maana na manufaa mbalimbali katika ustawi wa jamii na maendeleo ya uchumi hapa nchini. Kwanza, unachangia katika utekelezaji wa sera ya taifa ya uwezeshaji wa wananchi kiuchumi kwa kuwezesha makundi mbalimbali ya jamii, ikiwa ni pamoja na watu wa kipato cha chini kuwekeza kwa pamoja katika dhamana za serikali, yani treasury bonds, ambapo wawekezaji hawa katika hali ya kawaida wasingepata fursa hii. Tumeona kiwango cha chini cha kuwekeza katika mifuko hii katika baadhi ya mifuko ni kiasi cha $100,000. Kwa hiyo hii inatoa fursa kwa wawekezaji wadogo wakati na wa kipato cha juu kuweza kushiriki vile vile kuwekeza katika hati fungani za serikali kupitia mpango huu. Pili, uwekezaji utakaofanywa na mifuko hii katika hati fungani za serikali utawezesha upatikanaji wa rasilimali fedha za kugharamia miradi ya maendeleo ambayo imeainishwa katika mkakati wa serikali wa njia mbadala za kugharamia miradi ya maendeleo, yani alternative project financing strategy. Kwa hiyo wakati iTrust anatekeleza mpango wake wa kibiashara, lakini anasaidia vile vile utekelezaji wa mkakati wa serikali wa kupata vyanzo mbadala vya fedha ambazo zitatumika kutekeleza miradi mbalimbali ya maendeleo, kwani tumeona baadhi ya kiasi kitakachopatikana zitakwenda kuwekezwa katika hati fungani za serikali. Vile vile wawekezaji watalipwa gawio kutokana na faida za uwekezaji, na wakati huo wakiwa ni sehemu ya utekelezaji wa miradi ya maendeleo. Aidha, mifuko ya uwekezaji wa pamoja inatoa anuwai ya uwekezaji, yani diversification, kwa wananchi, ambapo wawekezaji wanapata fursa ya fedha zao kuwekezwa katika maeneo na miradi mbalimbali, na hivyo kupunguza vihatarishi ambavyo vinaweza kutokea. Napenda kuhitimisha kwa kuzipongeza kampuni za iTrust Finance na benki ya NBC, lakini vile vile na wataalamu wote PricewaterhouseCoopers pamoja na Vertex Law Chambers kwa kuweza kufanya kazi nzuri ambayo imetuwezesha leo kukutana hapa. Lakini kipekee kabisa ninapenda kutambua mchango wa wafanyakazi wa mamlaka ya masoko ya mitaji na dhamana kwa kuweza kusimamia utoaji wa bidhaa hii, kwani wao ndio wameweza kazi zote ambazo zimefanyika kitaalamu kuweza kuletwa kwa mamlaka na wao wakaweza kuzifanyia kazi na hivyo mamlaka kuweza kudhihinisha. Kipekee kabisa ningependa kuwatambua wafanyakazi hao. Ninatambua kwamba wako hapa, naomba wasimame ili umma waweze kuwatambua. Hawa ndio wamekuwa kazi zote, wataalamu wanapofanya kazi zao zinakuja, zinaweza kuchambuliwa na kwa haraka kabisa tunaweza kutoa mrejesho. Lakini kipekee kabisa ninapenda kutambua ufanisi wa hali ya juu wa timu ya wataalamu wa iTrust. Professor Wasame, in a very special way, ndugu yangu Rajabal, you have a very good team, young generation. Ningependa niwaone wakisimama tu. Hawa ni vijana wamekuwa wakifanya kazi nzuri. Ninapenda kuwa recognize, wamekuwa wakifanya a very big transformation kwenye soko. Na vijana hawa vivyo ninafurahi kwamba ni young generation ambao bado wana energy, wana passion na wamekuwa wakifanya kazi kwa karibu sana kuhakikisha kwamba tunapata bidhaa ambavyo ni za kibunifu na zinaleta mabadiliko makubwa katika sekta ya fedha. Ninawa encourage muendelee kufanya kazi kwa ubunifu na kwa moyo ili tuweze kuweka masoko yetu katika the next level. Asanteni sana. Baada ya kusema hayo, sasa niko tayari kuweza kufanya uzinduzi rasmi. Asanteni sana.
Makofi kwa mgeni rasmi. Nakushukuru sana. Mheshimiwa, naomba tu utasubiri hapo pembeni ya jukwaa. Wakati huo naomba niwakaribishe wafuatao katika jukwaa kuu. May I please welcome the following to the high table. Mr. Peter Nalitolela, CEO, GSC. The board chairman, Mr. Onali Rajabali, please. Professor Mohammed Wasame, iTrust director. Mr. Faiz Arab, our CEO. And Juliana Mwapachu, the NBC Bank, representing our Custodian Bank. Karibuni, please. The action will mostly be on the big screen. So may I please direct your attention towards the big screen. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready for the moment we've been waiting for? Yes. Here is the launch, The Voice.
I trust, I trust, I trust, I trust, iTrust Finance.
Ladies and gentlemen, build your tomorrow today. Jenga kesho yako leo. Iman Fund, iCash, iGrowth, iIncome, and iSave. Makofi tafadhali. Thank you, The Voice. Na sasa naomba tulete viti katika jukwaa kuu. Let's bring the chairs up for the photo occasion. Hope you enjoy the sequence. And now the fireworks on the left are deciding to to go off as they wish. Tukaribishe viti jukwani. Nitakaribisha picha za aina mbalimbali. I'll call on the following to join us up on stage for group photos. Leteni viti jukwani. Pandisheni viti jukwani tafadhali. On this day, on this historic day, you've witnessed the launch of the iTrust funds, iTrust Finance Collective Investment Funds. Here in Dar es Salaam at the Dome, please take your seats. The chairs brought over to you. And we may just rearrange how we're seated. The guest of honor in the middle. They're divided into the various types that we've noted: the iSave Collective Investment Fund, iCash, Iman, Income, and Investment Funds. May I call on the following for a photo moment, please? First of all, the Board of Directors and shareholders, please come up on stage. Board of Directors and shareholders, please come up onto the stage. Thank you, Professor. That's very kind of you. May I please request our regulators, DSC and BOT, to also come up onto the stage as our Board of Directors and shareholders step down. Those accompanying the guest of honor from CMSA, Capital Market Security Authority, from the DSC, accompanying Peter. Anyone from the BOT? Karibuni jukwani. All right, thank you very much. Those who were in the previous photo with the guest of honor and for the launch sequence, please remain. Thank you. Next, may I call on the whole team from our Custodian Bank, NBC. Please step this way. Karibuni sana. Juliana is already up on stage. And following behind, the PwC team and Vertex Law Chambers. But first, we'll take a group photo with our Custodian Bank first. Karibuni sana. The PwC team. This is a picture with our Custodian Bank. Please step up to the chairs a bit and let's close the ranks. PwC and Vertex Law Chambers is the next photo. All right, PwC and Vertex, thank you very much. And may I please request those who formed the panel to join the next photo, as I see we already have two. Those who had been on the panel, okay. Karibuni for those who had been on the panel. Tim, yes, Tim's coming up. Professor Osama is on the picture. We have brokers in the room. May we please welcome you to a joint photo, please, with our guest of honor. All our brokers in the room, please rise. Please feel free to come up. You've seen the resources. In all the speeches, you've been welcome to use the resources available. The iTrust team, are you ready? Are you ready? Let me see you stand up in force, please. As we wait for the picture with the brokers, this is going to be an amazing one. So some of you go left, some of you come to the right, in no particular order or height. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our brokers in the room. Please identify them by face. And when we have a moment to network after this, let's have healthy discussions. All right, thank you very much, all our brokers. And now, for the iTrust team. My good photographers, I think we can arrange this picture much better. Everybody who is a bit tall, please step back, a step back. And then for those shorter ones, fill the ranks. So all the tall ones, please stand in between the shoulders of the shorter ones. We really want to have a good picture for the office and for your social media as well, as we truly need to promote what we've launched here today. I'm going to rearrange it again. All the ladies to the front, please. Gentlemen, leave the ladies to come to the front. And the gentlemen, please stand in between the shoulders of the ladies. You can stand on your toes if you wish. And then let's have a young, vibrant picture. Hands up. Let's put our hands up. Let's have a fun photo. Yeah. I know you guys have a corporate culture, but come on. I know you take your selfies and everything, right? All right. Congratulations, team. we can step down, but just before we go, there's a surprise. Jacinta, please come to me. Jacinta is your favorite, huh? Jacinta, here you are. Honorable guest of honor. Could I request that you stand? The high table. Please take that to the chair, and the chair will present it to the guest of honor. Professor Asame? Yamani, pigeni picha. Jacinta wants that picture. Jacinta, stay in the picture. Makofi mengi sana. Let's put our hands together. It's a memento to remember the occasion. Congratulations, everybody. And I'm going to take you all down back to your chairs, the high table back to your seats. And the chair is going to remain for the vote of thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Makofi mengi sana kwa mwenyekiti wetu, ndugu Rajabali. Karibu sana.
Is it working? Hello?
Use this one, maybe puff.
Yeah. Hello? Anabidi washe kidogo. Hello?
Not at the last second. Oh, that sounded like it came through.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, it did.
Hello? Can you hear me? Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are now coming to the end of our historic launch of five funds at iTrust. And as usual, it's been a very long journey. In the process, we've had institutions, both private and government, as well as individual, who I will try to recognize and thank them here. So let me start first with thanking Mr. Mkama, the CEO of CMSA. I know you were very busy. You had to reschedule your appointments just to accommodate us. We are very grateful. Thank you. I also want to give our special thanks to the CMSA team. They have been very professional. Every time our team went with them with problems or approvals, they have been fantastic. So thank you, CMSA team. As you know, iTrust is regulated by two entities. One is CMSA, the other one is Bank of Tanzania. So I want to recognize the representative from Bank of Tanzania for their support. Thank you. Also, Mr. Gilead Terry, the DG of TIC, agreed to come and speak with us here. Unfortunately, he had to leave for his another meeting, so we are grateful that he could make it with us here. Peter Nalitolela, the MD for the DSE, thank you so much. Thank you for being with us here. I want to recognize my brother Abdul Majid Sekela from CRDB and Mr. Sabasaba. Both Mr. Sekela, a very busy man. Mr. Sabasaba has just launched his rights issue yesterday, so he's been very busy with his team, but he found some time to come and be with us. Thank you. We have our service providers for the fund. You've seen them up in the panel discussion. So special thanks to Tupo and Juliana, the custody and trustee custodians for NBC Bank, Patrick from PwC, our auditor, my brother Emmanuel Kakwezi, I don't see him somewhere here. Thank you so much, my brother. Yeah, we've also had a lot of support from PSSF. I don't know whether PSSF team is here. We've had a lot of support from NSSF, WCF, major insurance companies and brokerage. All of you who are here, we are grateful and thank you for your patronage. We also have the family of brokers in Tanzania who are represented here. Although we are competing with each other, but we remain to support each other. So thank you so much, Godfrey, Simon, only people I can see, asanteni sana. Then we have our distinguished investors who have been investing with iTrust for quite some time. We welcome new investors to please invest with us. You will see the results. We have our team here who can onboard you and see what we can do. So we are very grateful and thank you so much. We have our shareholders, Askabai, Shakil, Mohamed Hussein. Unfortunately, Kumel is not in town, but thank you so much for coming down to our event. I have a fantastic board. We have Prof. Warsame, most brilliant finance guy I've met in my life. We got Tim, and we got Shakil also at the board level. Last, can I please have a huge round of applause for the iTrust staff. This staff have been amazing. I am so honored and privileged to chair a company which is full of young Tanzanians whose average age is around 25 years old. So well done, iTrust team. So thank you so much. That was my last vote of thanks speech.
All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed the launch, and I just wish to welcome you to pick up the pamphlets that are on your table, and please peruse within it all the explanations on what a unit trust is, benefits of investing in the funds, how the unit trust works, and it'll also show you the onboarding details, how much the contributions are, and of course, the 5 funds, the iGrowth, iSave, the income, Iman funds, and at the very end, the frequently asked questions, ladies and gentlemen. But most importantly, the QR code at the back. Ladies and gentlemen, let's use this and let's share this. As the guest of honor leaves, may I please welcome you to have some tea, maybe brunch. It could be brunch, so before you get back to the office, please mix with our amazing staff, and I hope you've truly enjoyed this one. Thank you very much for attending. God bless you very much. Yenga kesho yako leo, ladies and gentlemen. Build your tomorrow today with us at iTrust Finance Limited. Asanteni sana na asubuhi njema. Have a great day.